My name is Pat Dilg. My daughter is Kimberly Vermillion, and Caleb is my grandson.
My name is Norm Dilg, and Pat and I met around 28 years ago. And we've been together off and on for 28 years. And depending on what year, we're married. If you ask what year it is, and if it's even, we're married. If it's odd, we're not married.
My dad was a florist, and I became a florist. And Kimberly is also a florist, and Caleb's Aunt Katie is a florist. So we're all in the flower business. As far as Caleb, my experience with that little guy, I've had quite a few moments with him where it was just him and I. One night, Norm and I took Caleb to happy hour at Patrick's, and I believe Caleb was about 6 years old. And Kimmy had cut his hair like in a, like a little pot haircut, you know what I mean? Like you put a pot on the head. And of course, because his hair was so thick, it kind of stood out. And he kept saying, Grandma, I've got to go to the bathroom. Well, he did it about 10 times. He just wanted to get off the table and walk across the floor. And when he did, his little tennis shoes would light up. It was really cute. Really, really cute. And he was just always fun to be with.
We used to have the Christmas party. I had these little, I found these little wind-up flashlights. And I gave one to Ricky and one to Caleb. And his eyes got so big. He was very soft-spoken and very polite. And that's my impression of Caleb. And I said, Pat knows him quite a bit more than I do. And as she's talking, I'm picking up stuff about Caleb also.
He was about 12 or 13, and he asked me questions about my life, why I made the decisions that I made about certain things. And he wanted to know, he wanted the answers. He wanted to know why, Grandma, you did this, and why did you do that? And so, I told him, he said, well, I'll tell you, Grandma, he says, when I find the right girl, I'm gonna stick with her. So I knew that he had that heart where he was gonna find the perfect girl. And for the longest time, we were saying, Caleb doesn't date. He doesn't go out, and he's always with the guys. Whenever we'd have a party here, he'd be with a bunch of guys from church. Then all of a sudden, he brings this beautiful girl, over to a party. And I'm like, oh my God, she is so gorgeous. And I could see the way Caleb looked at her, that he was falling in love with this girl. And I always said that I felt that Caleb had a good soul. So I want to cry. But, he's such a sweetheart. And I knew that he was going to find an angel just like him. And he did.
What's the key to a good marriage? And what would you give them advice about?
Well, I think marriage is very difficult. And you have to really get to know that person. And there's certain things that they might do that you don't like, but you gotta stay in control. You can't let things get you down. You've got to, if it's a money problem or whatever it is, you've got to work together and talk about it. Communication is so important.
The older you get, the easier it is. You kind of, maybe the word is mellow with time, and Pat and I both are getting pretty high up there, and hopefully we're mellowing a little bit.
And now that we sit and talk about things, we're doing better in that department. And it's just experience. And they're young, and they're going to have to go through all the trials and tribulations that all marriages go through. Yeah, we were both a little wild. We've been married, divorced, and remarried. Married twice.
Important thing also is that don't let other people influence you. especially members of your own family. We both came from two different families, and that's been a problem. But if you overcome that, it works out fine.
And there'll be tough times and easy times, happy times, sad times. You go through it, and you stay together, and you love each other, and that's all that matters. And the thing of it is that love is the strongest. And when you love, you truly love, you can do anything.